Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Dr. V.K. Jayaraghavendra Rao, who will talk about biochar in agriculture. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, information.com, agriinformation.com. As usual, why I chose this particular topic is, I'll just give a brief background. I'll just take you from here to the Amazon forest. I'll take you to Venezuela, the largest crude oil reserves, the petrol, and the whole war which is going on for all this, crude reserves and all that. So now, a quick background: why does the Amazon rainforest host the world's largest oil crude reserve? It is because of the organic carbon, or the Amazon rainforest is also called as the crude. We call it as the terra preta soil. So that means when more and more organic content is loaded into the soil, that also, I'm not just talking about, you put today biochar and in after 1 week, you will start getting a crude oil reserve on the back of your garden. Okay, that may look very theoretically and hypothetically true, but that is exactly the phenomena. So therefore, biochar, I'll just be quickly going to you with that. Okay, I am from the Indian Institute of Horticulture Research. Already you know me. The terra preta soil. So we start our story with this Amazon rainforest. Okay, the Amazon soils are all, they are not soils at all. There is not very little of mud. Most of it is all the organic content and a very rich carbon reserve. When you start loading the carbon reserve, maybe the plant residues, the flora, the fauna, all the reserves, when they start accumulating, that finally degrades and gives you this crude oil reserve. Today we say that Venezuela is the number one country in the whole world. It outbeats even UAE, okay, United Arab Emirates, and all the Middle East oil. So the South America and the Brazilian or the Amazonian forest, we call it as Amazon rainforest, which is predominantly called the terra preta soil. So therefore, this terra preta soil is the fundamental base why the Amazon forest is so fertile. Okay, it is almost on the equator, a lot of biodegradation occurring, and how to convert the entire world soils or agriculture into a very self-sustaining agriculture farm, or converting directly into the organic farm, or reducing the inorganic fertilizers. That is why the whole biochar in agriculture and this today's topic is coming into picture. Okay, I will tell you the science part of it later, but now understand the agriculture history, that why people want organic. There is no inorganic in Amazon forest. Okay, you see the number of flora, fauna, and all those things in the Amazon forest. I quickly go. See, if you go to the Amazon forest, now let us say that you convert most of your agricultural land into Amazon forest. Okay, you get the anaconda snake, don't be afraid. Okay, you get a very rich flora, fauna. So therefore, a higher organic content in the soil, okay, and which is predominantly a sort of a black soil. Black soil does not mean alphizols. It is not only the clay content. Okay, today we say that the Amazon forest is the only rainforest which is called as self-generating forest. No forest department will go and start putting this forestry plants. So it is a natural forest. So how to convert such thing? Therefore, the biochar and today's topic has become very, very relevant. Self-generating, I told you, this is where the biochar and the high organic carbon content in the soil, like the Amazonian forest. And you know that the Amazon is the largest, okay, and the largest river in the world. It spreads kilometers and kilometers. Most of you must have seen in the movies. See, now the terra preta soil, you see, look at the Amazon soil, the left one, it is totally black in color. You look at the other red soil, or we call it as the alphizols, vertizols, okay, molyzols. So very less organic carbon. If you see the Amazon soils, okay, even if you go 8 feet, 10 feet, You go kilometers together, it is fully humus, okay, humic acid. The pH is almost very, very neutral. Okay, you put anything, it regenerates there. No need of any thing. Okay, if you take the right side soil, which is a very, very poor soil, I'm amazed to, some people keep the land like that. People think that, organic cultivation, okay, then putting biochar, these are all simply narratives. Don't think like that. Today, every soil, whether it is your kitchen garden or your agriculture land, should be like the Amazon forest soil. I'll just quickly go. Okay, terra preta is the origin of biochar. Look at this whole 1 6 feet man standing, and look at how all the degraded organic material or the biochar, look at how black it is. So not only the soil becoming black, even if the black soil which is called as the vertisol, okay, that means it may have a more clay content. But we are now talking about the humic acid and a very fertile soil with more of organic carbon and more of organic content. And why the Amazon forest is so rich, so nutritious, so regenerating in nature. We wish to convert not only India but the whole world as a terra preta soil type, okay, a regenerative agriculture. This is where this today's topic has become relevant for the agriculture scientists and all the listeners who are listening to my lecture today. So what is the point? We also keep a gardener. Why should you keep a gardener? They used to call us, in the even in some of the villages, I know what is it called? What dharma panta? Okay, my wife comes from Karnool district, and they used to have 1 or 2 acres as they don't put any fertilizer or anything. Simply they throw some paddy seeds or whatever you throw, it comes. Why? Because the soil is very fertile. It is a terra preta type of soil, very rich in organic content. So in Telugu, they call it as the dharma panta. Okay, that means without any, it's also called as zero tillage, Jethro Tull and others. You must already know the concept in agriculture. Zero tillage is also a concept. So for everything, you need not go on putting labor, putting inorganic fertilizer. Of course, we have got the green revolution. Today, we have got a record production of 350 plus million tons in horti agri. We do not know. So there is a record production. And by going more and by accumulating more and more of biochar and all the organic material into the soil and making it as a terra preta type of Amazon forest soil, okay, you can simply record, you can simply increase the production. Okay, why did you require a green revolution? Because your fertility status was low. Okay, we did not have the hybrid technology. Today, the entire agriculture and horticulture is moving towards organic in the terms of regenerative agriculture or the dharma panta, which I just told you. Okay, you should not put external inputs, whereas the soil itself should become a fertility bank. It should become a carbon bank. Okay, so whatever you put, it should start regenerating. That is called regenerative agriculture. See, normal and therapeutic. Look at this Amazon forest, the mysterious Amazonian black soil that still amazes scientists in the heart of Amazon. You know that this is the largest river in the world. Okay, and today Amazon forest. Okay, I saw only one movie called Anaconda. Oh my God, the flora, the fauna. Okay, it simply amazes me. So, can you convert your gardens? Can you convert your agriculture field into rich organic content Amazonian forest? So, look at this. So, even the agriculture scientists are telling the black soil found in the Amazon may hold key to forest regeneration. No need of any forest department. You see, look at the biodiversity of the flora and fauna. Okay, you look at the biodiversity of the animals and plants. That is basically, we say flora and fauna. Fauna is the animal, flora is the vegetation or the plants. So now, terra preta is a dark rich soil found in pockets of Amazon basin. We wish to convert all our lands into these sort of things, for which the biochar today has come. Please, this is the background, and biochar is a tool. Okay, and look at the biodiversity of the animals in the Amazon forest. many of these animals and fauna are disappearing. You have the anaconda, you have so many things. So you may ask me a very big question: what is so big about the tropical rainforest of Amazon? Okay, if you have more biodiversity of flora and fauna, okay, that adds to your germplasm, and any crisis like drought, famine, you can do. You know the great Bengal famine, okay, which occurred during the British days in the 1857. That's why the Sepoy Mutiny started in India. See, why did it happen? Because the Britishers started growing more of indigo in Bihar, the blue, the dye, which they used it for all our textiles, and they increased the cotton cultivation. Therefore, people could not get rice and potato, especially in Bengal. They're all aloo lovers. They eat a lot of potatoes, rice. So, therefore, people starved during the Great Bengal famine, and that became a precursor for the Indian agriculture. In 1929, we came out with the Imperial Council of Agriculture Research, which later on became the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. And luckily, most of us got jobs in the ICAR, and we had given an opportunity to serve. So, therefore, today we have a record production only because our soil fertility, okay, is very high. Okay, we are, why we are going towards organic is, we say, last time I took a lecture on balanced nutrition of fertilizers. You require not only just NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, but you require all the micronutrients, 20 amino acids. All these things are very much required. But how do you get all these 20 amino acids? Okay, until you increase your organic carbon of the soil, until you make it as a terra preta type of soil like the Amazon forest, your micronutrient deficiencies will exist. For example, you have a zinc deficiency, you have a boron deficiency, and many of the crops, if you only put monocrops, that means if you put only a single crop and without much flora and fauna, okay, you enter into these problems. See, I told you that even the coffee fruits which are eaten by the civet cat, a cat eats the uh, coffee fruits, and the coffee seeds are excreted through the excreta, and that is a very high premium coffee. So if you want to, and if you want to get that sort of high quality coffee, you should have a lot of civet cats, and civet cats are not so easily coming here and there. Until a biodiversity like Amazon forest, Amazon tropical rainforest is there, it does not attract these species. So we require a rich diversity of both the plants and animals for sustainable regenerative agriculture. That is the background of the biochar. Because my time is limited, I will not talk much about the Amazon tropical rainforest. We will now go how to create the biochar, okay, even in your gardens, how to improve the organic carbon content. And many of my classmates, there is one Dr. Shivram, he retired recently. Okay, he was the director of research at GKVK. And in one of his PhD studies, what he was doing is he used to dig the soil, and then he used to take the carbon cylinders, carbon dioxide, he used to nutrify it to the plants, roots, and the yields are going to increase. That is why more of organic content, more of organic carbon in the soil is also going to increase the yields, and it is going towards the regenerative agriculture, and there will also be a cooling effect. See, when more of greenery is there, okay, in and around flats, or in and around buildings, or in and around things, when you have more organic content in the soil, the microclimate, there is a lot of reduction in the temperature. That's why you feel like going and sitting in a garden. Why do you want to, okay? Why do you want to go to a mountain top full of organic content and material covered by greenery vegetation? So now the biochar. So biochar is a precursor for increasing and making an Amazon tropical rainforest type. Okay, we can use biochar. How to convert it, I'll show you. We can use it as a soil amendment. We can use biochar for wastewater treatment. See, today, any wastewater treatment, okay, we have the STP plants. So similarly, if you have a lot of organic carbon content in the soil and pass the wastewater through that, Okay, it will filter all the toxic materials, and then the water gets purified, and our water bodies also get good water. And very heavy metal like, okay, lead, cadmium, they're also absorbed, and the air temperature, carbon capture, okay, the treatment when you do, it captures more carbon, lot of catalytic activities, humic acid, and lot of microbial activities go. That's why, when we say you please put the AMC, Arca Microbial Consortia, which is effective microorganism culture. And we have renewable energy as well. I told you why lot of crude oil in Venezuela and the Amazon forest, more than the Middle East. That is only a desert. So now what are the raw materials required? Wheat, straw, rice husk, okay, farm manures, okay, we can take forest wood, burn it, wastewater sludge. Look at this STP treated okay, the solid which is collected, microalgae, poultry litter, all these things can be pyrolysis, means burning them or subjecting them to high temperature. We get the black material which is called as the biochar. And biochar briquettes, that means these, okay, rupees 85 rupees per kg. If they convert like this and give it to use in your kitchen garden, in your land and all that. Why should you buy it from somewhere? Of course, today there are startups and stand-ups who prepare this, but you can prepare it on your own also. The biochar for soil fertility and carbon storage, we have already told you. Now you will ask me $1 million question, why the soil should have more carbon? Because carbon-rich organic matter improves soil structure. That means it will help to retain more water, okay, during the dry season. Otherwise, it is one of the drought management techniques. And it also helps many microbes to harbor there, supplies natural plant nutrients, not just NPK, but all the 20 amino acids and other things, and also 20 nutrients, micronutrients, and locks away harmful carbon dioxide from the air to fight climate change. See, today, what are we talking about? The greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are nothing but when the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere increases, what will happen in the stratosphere? There is a ozone layer. The ozone layer gets disrupted and the ultraviolet radiation enters the Earth's atmosphere, and because of which global warming takes place. Because of global warming, what happens is the more of the ice is getting melted, and that is where you have the drought, El Nino and El Nina. Okay, El Nino means drought. El Nina means, okay, we have a flood sort of situation. And this year was a 42% deficit in rainfall, and it was declared as an El Nino year. And I was in Guntur to attend that particular contingency project of NICRA, National Initiative for the Climate Resilient Agriculture. So they came out with a climate resilient plan that if the rainfall decreases, okay, what sort of crop they should grow. And luckily now it is, Shravana Masa, we also call it as the Varsha Rutu, and somehow, we escaped. Otherwise, you have to release more water to Tamil Nadu, and our Kabini Dam is full, and we are able to release, and thanks to the meeting which is taking place. So therefore, climate change can be, we can fight climate change by biochar and more organic carbon. Okay, it will also cool the earth. I've already told you, it avoids global warming. It can avoid situations like El Nina and El Nino. Okay, all those things we have already told you. And already plant food and microbes. Okay, the moment the organic carbon is more in the soil, okay, you will have lot of earthworms, you will have lot of fauna, you will have so many microbial activity, animal activity, so many things in the rhizosphere. See, don't say your soil is it is a dead soil. It is not a dead material. A soil is live. We call it as Jiva Nadi, or it has got Jiva, it has got a lot of life. And all these things can occur if the organic carbon through biochar is important. It is increased. It will save money on fertilizer. If your organic content is high, it will become regenerative agriculture. We can grow better crops, okay, and we can stay healthy. Otherwise, you will have to go on applying too much of fertilizer. Farmers, because they are unaware, they don't use balanced nutrition. They apply more urea. Because of more urea, you have more vegetative growth. Okay, if at all you want to have more better fruit quality, better yields, you should come with P and K also. Therefore, biochar is an important organic amendment which can be put in the soil. How to prepare the biochar is the $1,000,000 question. So I have already told you about structure, biochar. See, now we have to improve the soil fertility, you have to improve the soil structure, you have to improve the soil carbon, you have to improve the porosity of the soil. All these things can occur only through biochar. Okay, and if more carbon material and humic acid is there in the soil, your soil are also very cool. It will reduce the temperature. Once when temperatures are reduced in the soil, it will harbor more micro fauna and flora, more of organic microbes. Okay, you have azotobacter, nitrobacter, rhizobium. Okay, we have vesicular, arbuscular mycorrhiza for phosphorus solubilization. So the entire structure and the entire ecosystem of the soil and agriculture is going to change with biochar. See, now I will show you a small video. Okay, how biochar is. If you take you see here all the wood he has cut. Okay, and then he may chops it into small pieces. Okay, he burns it. This is called the pyrolysis. Okay, the videos are shared to you. Okay, and okay, see, now I will not go into the detail, I'll explain. See, just like you prepare charcoal, see, you go to Tamil Nadu, that Ramanathapuram district, on the way to Rameshwaram, you get it. Lot of Prosopis juliflora on the left and the right side. That is where a lot of charcoal is also produced. Even charcoal can be powdered and applied into the soil. It will also increase your organic content. But why should see, only the waste agriculture produce must be converted to biochar. Okay, you don't take teak wood and convert it. So you can go to the Ramanathapuram district. Okay, I happened to visit before from Madurai to Rameshwaram. When you take the tour, you can find lot of Prosopis juliflora, or it is also called Ballari Jali. You can burn them, cut all these things, and convert them into that biochar briquettes. I've already shown you. See, this is how biochar looks. Okay, you get very healthy plants. Look at the porosity of biochar on 100 micrometer. Okay, when so many small pores are there, it will retain water. And the simple process is even cocoa peat. You know, we, we even in IIHR nowadays we say soilless cultivation. We use cocoa peat, coir peat, algal biomass, agro waste, peat moss. Okay, we put it and we burn them, and this is called as the pyrolytic process. Okay, now biochar. Okay, many organic material can also be used to convert them into biochar, into this black humus type of soil. And look at how they do it in other countries. A huge a huge pyrolytic process. They dump all the organic waste material. Okay, all these things are put into this. It is burnt almost, let us say, for your understanding, it is burnt like charcoal, powdered, and that powder is going to be combined with effective microorganism solution. Then only we call it as ARCA microbial consortia. See, what are there in this biochar? We can enrich them with microbes like azotobacter, nitrobacter, vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza, rhizobium. So many things you can put it, and then we can mix water, molasses, cow dung, and convert it into a very lively microbial consortia. And obviously, okay, the microbial activity in the rhizosphere is also high. Okay, the organic content is high, and the self regenerative agriculture also takes place. You get higher yields. You need not apply inorganic fertilizers at all. That situation also will come. You go to the Amazon basin and Amazon river, Amazon forest, you will spot the anaconda snake. Don't be afraid. And you can put any seed there, it will come. You need not apply fertilizer. So we want to create that sort of a regenerative agriculture through all our lands. This is where I am telling you that because India is having 646.5 million hectares of cultivable land, we have a 300% cropping intensity. That means we have Kharif, Rabi, and summer. Therefore, we have to increase our biomass, we have to increase our organic carbon level through biochar application as a soil amendment, and then slowly, maybe if you build up like this, let us say for 50 to about 100 years, our next generation need not apply fertilizer. They can simply get a record yield, and that is called regenerative agriculture using biochar. That is why today's topic, okay, application of biochar in agriculture. So one more video I'm just showing very quickly. See here, you burn everything to the black thing. Okay, take all the organic waste, see here, and then convert them into black powder. Okay, put some water, mix it with soil. Okay, look at this. Look at this. He's applying all the cow urine, all fermented. Okay, then this is the microbial mixture. Okay, and then they put it in the biochar, and this is now used as a soil amendment. Okay, and then okay, it can replace the inorganic fertilizer. Look at this, the video. Okay, I am leaving this with you, and Rajini ma'am will give you that. Okay. And a very simple process how to do. Yeah, the Amazon, I've already told enough about Amazon. You can use your kitchen waste. Everything you put it in this pyrolytic chamber, you burn it. Okay, after complete combustion, it becomes black in color. Okay, shrinks, convert them into powder, put effective microorganisms, and then you can. Yeah, if you go to Pina Industrial Estate, there is a company called Gardener. You know what they do is they do the biochar. Every time I happen to go to that company in the front of it, I say, oh, these are all our fellows. They create biochar, and then they sell it at the rate of that 85 rupees per kilo, one brick, I told you. So this Amazonian Terra Preta, I told you how it came. And similarly, there's another video, very important, you can go through. Okay, how to convert pyrolysis in a drum also he has done. Okay, how we convert them into black powder, put the effective microorganism, okay, then convert and use it as a soil amendment. Entire video talks about that. Okay, your yields are going to be higher. Fine. So you can go through the video just to reinforce what I have given in the lecture. Already how to make biochar, collect the biomass, start heating, put it in a drum, okay, seal and cool, crush and sieve, okay, convert them into powder, okay, charge them with microorganism, use them, and slowly you can eliminate your inorganic fertilizers. All this Prosopis juliflora waste I told you. In and around the Ramnath district, you will find all these charcoal makers and the biochar makers are there. In fact, one of them had asked me as a consultant. Okay, and that unit is somewhere in this Ramnath district, and that's why this topic interested me, and I wanted to deliver it to agriinformation.com. Okay, already we have told you how to prepare biochar, and everything is there. Okay, these are all some stove and kiln and all that, how they burn it. Okay, everybody is doing this. They want to make the entire world as an Amazon tropical rainforest. See, burning, converting into some charcoal type. Okay, look at this. See, you have so many farm waste. Why should the laborer start smoking BDs and waste his time? He's paid about 300 to 500 rupees. Ask that fellow to collect all the waste in the farm and burn them and convert into biochar yourself. That's all. See here. So these are all some issues I wish to tell. I will not take long. My style of teaching is to drive home the concept. Okay, you can get hundreds of videos, but to understand the video, you require Some Dr. Jayaraghavendra Rao like me. Okay, this is how it is done. Biochar, okay. Crop residues, then Prosopis juliflora, Ballari Jali, Ramnath district, rice husk, other biomass can be used. Okay, main source is the Prosopis juliflora in India because this Ballari Jali everywhere you get. I think this is some Ramnath district. Okay, and you see how they pile it and burn it. Okay, and all the weeds also can be removed like this. Only thing is our laborer should collect all these things, not smoking a BD and sitting in the farm. Okay, then we do all these things, convert them like this. Okay, powder them. Good stoves are also available for, this is for very small kitchen garden home. Okay, you can even burn them like this. Today, we have biochar producers societies, we have got FPOs. Okay, and then even FPOs are producing, they are selling. Okay, and to the plant, and they're also putting more plants and trees, and they're also the JFM, the Joint Forest Management, a joint initiative of the Forest Department, Government of India, Paramparagat Khet Krishi, Paramparagat Kheti Abhiyan. Okay, all these things emphasize on biochar. Please understand this very important concept. Okay, the sources are charcoal ash, okay, Prosopis juliflora, then stoves, and then rice husk. And even if you go to parboiled rice mills, where they produce this semi-cooked steam rice, you mostly eaten in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, okay. I don't know what arasi it's called. Pacha arasi is the one which we eat for rice. So even in the rice mills also, you can get all this husk. Take them, convert them. This is the waste to wealth. Okay. Even the tribals were having this knowledge. They were using charcoal to enrich the soil. Okay, but today, in the times of LPG getting available, okay, all the new technologies coming, people forgot the use of charcoal. People forgot the use of biochar. People forgot the humic acid. People forgot the terra preta soil of the Amazon rainforest, tropical rainforest. See, when I was a young guy, I was in Ghana. My father was a visiting professor. That is, Ghana country is full of cocoa. It is almost on 5 degrees of the equator. My goodness, you should see that soil. It will outbid even the South American Amazon soil because they are all on the same latitude. Cocoa, nobody puts fertilizer. It is all simply grown on a regenerative forest. And as you already know, that Ghana is the #1 cocoa producer in the world. And Nestle and other chocolate companies, they are stationed there. So therefore, gentlemen, if you don't have enough organic carbon and if you do not regenerate your tropical rainforest in and around the equator, 5 degrees to 10 degrees this side, that side, neither you will get petrol, neither you will get crude reserve, neither you will get cocoa, or neither you will get coffee. See, who is the competitor for India in coffee? The Brazilian coffee. Even today, Brazilian coffee is at high premium. And lot of civet cats are there in the Brazilian forest. I told you when the cats will eat the coffee fruits and it will excrete the feces. Okay, the seeds collected from that feces is called the civet coffee. One of the most premium coffee, highly priced. I believe it gives a different flavor. So far I have not drank it. I've been drinking only an ordinary coffee. Okay. So this is how you apply. Okay. Tapping nitrogen from urine of animals and people using biochar. Okay, even the animal urine also. See, for example, in my MSc study, I did this. And today in the villages also, every villager know. Penning of sheep. You know what the shepherd will do? He takes this 200 sheep or goat and he will ask them to, urinate in a field. And the farmer is paid something for that. Okay, these are all called biochar urinals. See, people forgot all these things in the name of cleanliness, in the name of culture, in the name of civilization. Why are you losing all your indigenous technical knowledge? I don't understand this at all. So, therefore, friends, biochar urinals are there, biochar composting is there. biochar mulching is there. Okay, wherever you go, you mix all the biochar mixtures in the soil. It will prevent soil erosion. Okay, and it is very good for acidic soils, because mostly when you put more of carbon, okay, the pH should be neutral. The soil pH should be neutral. It should not be very alkaline or salty soil, or it should not be highly acidic like the laterite soil. If you go to Coorg and all the coffee estate, okay, even we have our institute in Gonikoppal, okay, IIHR has a KVK there. That's all full of laterite soil. Virajpet, Gonikoppal, Kerala, okay, all these things, they are all very highly acidic soil. By application of biochar, the pH will come to neutral. Okay, you can use biochar even in pro-trace for nursery management and raising the seedlings. Okay, 150 to 200% increase in crop production. 4 kgs biochar compost, 8 kgs biochar compost. See here the difference. When you put more of biochar, the yields and the leaf area index and the photosynthetic rate is also increased. Okay, so these are all some results. I told you about biochar brick. Okay, waterless cleaning. I told you in STP also how it is used. I have shown you in this particular slide. Terra preta versus bio. So you should have a lot of things. So who knows, one day Mr. Krishna Bairegoda, our BDA minister, will say that kindly use biochar for your STP treatment. So I will not recommend. He's a good friend. So one day we will tell, sir, we can use terra preta and biochar amendments for your sewage treatment plants. So this slide shows you about that. Okay, lot of livelihoods. Okay, increase in yield, reduction in greenhouse gases, climate variability is reduced. Okay, global warming is reduced. So all advantages with biochar, gentlemen. So I'll not go on and on. Rajini ma'am, you can stop me at any time. It will also help you to do carbon sequestration. Okay, and then today we talk about the carbon credit. See, any agriculture or any country which, if they emit more of greenhouse gases, that means burning the fossil fuels, or in whatever way, they are going to be charged. And the environmental friendly countries in Africa, okay, or whoever is having higher vegetation and more organic carbon content, okay, they are going to be given the credit. They are going to be given money. So in the name of civilization, in the name of culture, in the name of technology, we do not want the environment to be polluted and more of the greenhouse gases and destruction of the ozone layer in the stratosphere, and that increases the global warming, the El Nino, El Nina, all those things. So therefore, gentlemen, today why the electronic EV vehicles have come? Why we said we don't want petrol and diesel vehicles? Okay, we say we have to produce power. Okay, petrol and crude oil is also one power. Let us use it more for the LPG things, because burning fuel wood and creating energy by these sort of things is very risky. I still remember my grandmother used to use firewood. Okay, she died of asthma. Okay, because how long she will suffer the firewood smoke and all that. So many of my grandmothers have died because of that firewood burning. So let the LPG gas go in our rural areas also, and reduce the drudgery in cooking and do all those things. So it is environment friendly, and that's how it works. So biochar is an important issue. Many projects are there. Okay, this particular project, it uses 7.5 tons of biochar facilitated. They have taken observations, they've converted the yields. Okay, they have, and all those things, okay, it is going to increase. So I told you how to prepare all these things. The same thing again and again. Why biochar? Bio oil, biochar, biogas, all after pyrolysis, these byproducts can be directly put into the soil. So today your soil will, okay, it will become more and more climate sensitive rather than input sensitive. We want the soil to be regenerating and produce yields on its own without, there is a project of LEIA, low external input agriculture. Today the focus is, don't say only it is organic. As a scientist, I am telling you, okay, see, everybody should not depend only on external inputs. Okay, the ecosystem of the field, the ecosystem of the earth, the ecosystem of the land should be able to produce its own nutrients. Okay, and it should be able to synthesize its own nutrients, not just the NPK, but another 20 micronutrients and the 20 amino acids, which are very, very important for agriculture. So that's how it goes. Okay, already we have told about this. Okay, climate change mitigation, I can go on and all. So waste management, today whether it is a flat or it is a dry waste or a wet waste, people are charged about 300 rupees per house to bifurcate your dry waste, wet waste, and BBMP is charging you these things. So even in waste management also, we can create all this waste, burn them, convert them to biochar, and sell them as fertilizer. See, one of my cousin brother's son, okay, he is Mr. Bharat Alur, okay, that guy did his engineering, and today he purchases this BBMP waste, both dry and wet, and he's trying to convert into fertilizer. Okay, next time when I take a lecture, I will share some of his photographs. Okay, gentlemen, that is all about all these things. I can go on and on like this. Okay, even if I tell 100 times, okay, the whole concept has been explained, and all these slides and videos Rajini ma'am is going to share with you. Kindly use them. See, more than you doing it, we have to create a awareness plan for the farmers and the stakeholders, the farmer producer organizations, the startups, to convert all this waste into useful fertilizer, biochar, and then increase the soil carbon capacity and convert the whole world into the Amazon tropical rainforest and like the cocoa gardens of Ghana. So you have to convert them like that, gentlemen. So I will not go all these things. I think I am going to stop somewhere here. Okay, I can go on. See, this is only telling the same thing. I am now going to stop and invite questions. Thank you. Yeah, the lecture is stopped, and now I will open it for. Where is it? I will stop sharing and. Yeah, I have stopped sharing. We can open it for question. Yeah, Rajni ma'am, I stopped sharing.
Okay,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So thank you for a very detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions. So first, some basic questions. So what is biochar and how it is different from ordinary charcoal or compost?
Okay. The question is good. Let me expand it. 1 minute. Just 2 minutes for the heads.
Okay.
One. Okay. Fine. See, now I've already told you, see, there are so many organic waste material available in the farm. It is available in the forest. Okay, now today a laborer comes, he does some sowing, he does some transplanting, he will do some harvesting. And today, there's a lot of labor problem in agriculture as well. See, now there are so many kitchen waste is available. There is an STP waste. There is a forest waste. I told you in the Ramnath district, you have a lot of Prosopis juliflora where they produce charcoal. So after producing all that also, still some agriculture waste can be burned and we can convert them to biochar, which can be used as a soil amendment to increase the carbon content of the soil. Then I told you the advantages of biochar. So that is how slowly biochar application, let us say 50 years to about 100 years from now. Afterwards, our next to 10 generation, they need not apply any fertilizer at all. No need of inorganic fertilizer. or the yields can be doubled, tripled. See, today you are having 354 million metric tons yield. Oh my God, that can simply increase by biochar. That is the future. On one side, we are producing the hybrid varieties. On the other side, we are also encouraging the balanced nutrition of the soil. And all these things, we can use these amendments, okay, which are available free of cost. You go to the BBMP yard and simply pick up all the waste, aggregate the waste, convert them into biochar. It's a very simple pyrolytic process. Okay, I told you, there are some startups doing this job, and I am not telling a farmer to do it. Okay, but this is how the recycling of the waste. You know, there's a book in ICAR. I will also share you that. Waste to wealth. How do you convert all the waste to wealth? See, don't think they are our waste. They are waste for you. Okay, we say the wet waste, the green waste, okay, the blue waste, whatever. Okay, they will bifurcate all the hospital waste. Okay, they will remove all the computer waste, and only those which are agriculturally relevant, which can be converted to biochar, are going to be recycled and used. That is how the entire biochar and today's agriculture industry is going to do. Maybe this can come out as an article in one of the issues. Thank you.
Okay. And how can biochar improve soil fertility, water retention, and microbial activity?
Yeah. See, the moment you apply more biochar, that means see what is the carbon content of our Indian soils as on date? It is less than 0.2%. See, suppose, if you take a humic soil, you go to Kerala, you go to Amazon forest, you know what is the humus content there? Around 8 to 10%. That means almost about half a kilometer, you don't get soil at all. You get only these organic waste or this carbon content. That is the one which has produced so much of crude oil in Venezuela. See, that is where the hydrocarbons get converted to crude. Okay, that is where it harbors so many microorganisms, flora, fauna, animals. Okay, even, see, you cannot bring an anaconda snake and make it to live in India. Now, because the biodiversity, or some, why cocoa comes up only in Ghana, why it doesn't come in other climatic things? Because by accumulation of organic carbon, especially in the equatorial zone, okay, we have a lot of humic acid which can support these sort of ecosystems, and therefore that is one which is becoming basis for regenerative agriculture, because more of the organic carbon content, more microorganism, more water holding capacity, more water retention, and every time you need not pump water from the borewell and irrigate it. See, suppose, if your carbon rich soil, it is running, let us say, up to half a kilometer. You go in and around Bangalore, you dig about 3 feet, you will get rock. But if it is all carbon rich soil, you go to Amazon forest, you dig even about 25 to 50, 100 feet, you don't get soil at all. That means there so much of organic material is already accumulated. Even in Ghana soils, oh my God, you should see the biodiversity there. Cocoa plant comes without any fertilization. They will put very minimum. The quality of cocoa beans, which is used for your chocolate. Okay, Nestle Switzerland is going to prepare the chocolate. But the quality of beans, okay, and then, when we were young, we were drinking what is called as Milo. Okay, that is equal to Bonvita. See, that flavor itself is different. We used to drink liters and liters of Bonvita or Milo. So therefore, gentlemen, more organic carbon, more of all this biochar, cocoa peat, it will enhance all the things which you have mentioned, madam. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
yeah, next question is which crops and soil types are likely to benefit the most from biochar application?
See, most of the plantation crops will benefit a lot. See, that means Yeah, I told you cocoa in Ghana. Okay, then coffee in Brazil. See, for example, we also have coffee in Chikmagalur and all these places. But unfortunately, they are very heavily laterite soils and highly acidic soils. If you go to our Kurg district, so therefore, if you have so much of organic carbon, okay, and if you make it like the Amazon tropical rainforest, and the civet cat, I told you, you can Google out how the civet cat looks. Civet cat will come up only if there is that particular coffee fruit. It should have a different flavor. Then only it will eat and it will excrete. So if you want more of civet cat population, you should have more of organic carbon and more of humus and humic acid. So these environmental factors and ecosystem factors favor one another. Both the flora, the fauna, okay, the uh, economically important agriculture microbes, rhizobium, nitrobacter, vesicular, arbuscular mycorrhiza, all these things. So therefore, plantation crops, okay, there is an Indian Institute of Plantation Management. My friend is the director, Dr. Shandil Vinayagam. So all the coffee, the tea plantations, these are all our plantation crops, coconut, okay. Then we told you about all this coffee, then cardamom, for example. I went to Idukki district recently. If you do not have organic carbon, okay, your cardamom will never get the flavor. You cannot put nitrogen as fertilizer. Therefore, what I say is, we say Kerala is a God's own country. Idukki district is really heaven, I tell you. They don't apply external fertilizer, very minimal. Okay, most of it is all accumulated carbon. And today, biochar application is going to benefit immediately the plantation crops. Okay, maybe short duration vegetables and very short intensive cultivation which is put in the protected cultivation. Also, you can use biochar, okay, in the liquid form. So no issues at all. But if we are targeting at regenerative agriculture of the plantation crops, I think biochar simply suits. Thank you.
Okay. And um, yeah, what is the recommended quantity of biochar per acre and how often should it be applied?
Yeah, you see now you take 10 kilos of the soil. Okay. So now we say what is the, suppose if you want 10 kilo, you are having 10 kilos of the soil, not the rock. So we say at least we should have 5 to 8%. Our soils don't even have 0.2%. So you convert 5% of 10 kgs of soil. Okay, that gives the answer. So that means how much? 10 kgs is 10,000 divided by 5. At least you should have apply around 50 kilos. Okay, therefore, more of this, it will simply regenerate your agriculture. No need to apply externally. For example, we'll take areca plants. Okay, areca plants has got a NPK recommendation of, okay, 100, 100 and 120 grams of NPK per year per plant. Okay, if I have more of organic carbon content, okay, I can apply even 50% of less of that. And the quality of the areca nut will also be higher. This also people have tested. We have on CPCRA. Okay, in Vittal we have our areca station, Central Plantation Crop Research Institute. So everywhere down the line, in all these plantation-based institutes, we are recommending at the rate of 5% to 8%. Okay, we have CPCRA, we have our coconut research station at Kayankulam in Kerala. Then we have the Central Tuber Crop Research Institute at Trivandrum. Okay, so wherever plantations are there, okay, this is a boon. And today we want the entire country, 646.2 million hectares of cultivable land, to have at least 5% carbon. But today, if you test the carbon levels, abysmally low. Therefore, the NICRA project, National Initiative for Climate Resilient Agriculture, it says not only by increasing the carbon content to biochar, Okay, your rainfall patterns through El Nino and El Nina. I told you about the drought this time. This also slowly will reduce. Let us say about 50 to 100 years from now. Okay, now you know what has happened because of excessive use of all this inorganic fertilizer and global warming. Our rainfall has advanced. That means what rain we were receiving on May 28th, we have started receiving 1 week in advance. So our concept of Kharif, Rabi and summer is also fastly changing. So therefore, application and increasing the organic content of the soil through biochar is going to be a boon, and it is going to be the solution on a very long run. Thank you.
Okay. And can biochar help farmers reduce fertilizer and irrigation requirements while maintaining crop yields?
Absolutely. This is the question I was expecting. See, now farmers are also restless and everybody is restless. You know, it is something like people go to the temple and they offer 1 rupee or 2 rupees and immediately they want results. So, biochar will not give results immediately. It will give visible results. See, over a period of 10 years, I have shown you in my slide, lot of research has been done, lot of observations are recorded, and it will give results over a period of time. And results are also validated scientifically. We have applied a t-test, we have applied parametric test and proved it. So it is something like, you know, the philosophers say, you do good deeds, you will become good. But many people argue, what is the big deal? I will do bad things, and where is the cause and effect relationship? So like that, one cannot be restless in biochar and all that. It is a long-term strategy, long-term run to increase the organic content of the soil and have a regenerative agriculture forest like the tropical rainforest. I gave you the example of the Amazon forest and the Ghanaian forest in and around 5 degrees of the equator.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And what is the best way to prepare or activate biochar before applying it to agricultural soil?
Yeah, I told you once when you get that biochar bricks, okay, let us say it is a charcoal for you. Okay, for layman terms, it's a charcoal. Such sort of biochar is already put. We have to powder them and we have to apply effective microorganism, convert them into microbial consortia. I told you rhizobium, azotobacter, nitrobacter, vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza solution, cow dung solution, cow urine anaerobically fermented, all our STP sludge waste also they are converting, mixed all of them and keep them as a soil amendment. When you do the first ploughing, let us say by May 10th or May 15th, when you do the first ploughing, after the ploughing, as a basal dose, apply this particular biochar amendment at the rate I have already prescribed. Okay, 5% means like that you should calculate, let us say 50 kilos. Okay, you apply it into the soil and later on put the transplanted seedlings, or you can sowing also can be done. So before sowing and before the rain starts, the biochar has to be applied, and once when the rains are there, okay, whether you do compartment bunding or you do across the slope furrow bunding and all that, the moment rain comes, it will hold a lot of moisture, germination will be faster, you will have a very bumper crop. Thank you.
Okay.
Hope.
And just 2 to 3 more questions.
Yeah, one nimsha, last question.
Okay. And what are the costs and expected economic benefits of using biochar, particularly for small and marginal farmers?
See, small and marginal farmer is already having higher carbon content in the soil, and this can reduce his inorganic fertilizer. At least, 1,000 rupees per acre if you do. My goodness, I think it's a very good saving. And he can utilize his labor and family labor effectively, provided he collects all that waste and then burn them and convert them to biochar. Easily 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per acre is the saving for a small and marginal farmer. And it is going to be a regenerative farm.
Okay. And how can farmers convert agriculture residues and farm waste into biochar, thereby reducing waste burning and generating an additional resource?
Yeah, see, in all the compost pits, already farmers may be having compost pit in their farm. Okay, and they may, even in a village on a community level, it can be done. You have to collect the waste first, then subject it to pyrolytic process, burn them, and convert them with the procedure I have shown you in the video on my slide. So after doing that, it can be resold and redistributed in the village on a community basis. No problem. It can be done.
Okay. And can biochar become additional source of income for farmers through carbon credits? What needs to be in place to make carbon credit opportunities practical and accessible to small farmers?
See, now small and marginal farmer wants employment. He has to earn some more money. Big farmer may not have the time to prepare biochar. Therefore, today FPOs and societies have come, which is run by small and marginal farmers who will collect all the waste material. I told you there are people who collect even the BBMP waste materials. Okay, 900 rupees for 1 ton. So convert them into biochar and prepare them and sell it. That is also a business opportunity in the village. No problem. It will give additional income even to small and marginal farmers. Already many FPOs and startups are doing this job.
Okay. And what would be your recommended low-cost model for a farmer or FPO to produce quality biochar from locally available agricultural residues and use it effectively on their farms?
Yeah, see, there are two approaches here. It is not necessary that every farmer will produce his own biochar and use it. That is a very good approach. Other one is there are so many community waste, Prosopis juliflora, Ramnath district, I gave you example. Produce it at a community level and sell it at a lower price, or engage our small and marginal farmers and people who are very heavily unemployed in agriculture, ask them to prepare biochar, give them some employment on a daily basis. So many such methodologies are available and we can use it effectively to augment the income of small and marginal farmers and engage our agricultural labor very meaningfully.
Okay. So now we have the last question. Based on your experience at ICAR, what evidence or field results have you seen regarding biochar's ability to improve soil health, crop productivity, and long-term farm sustainability?
Yeah, if you come to IIHR, you can contact one Dr. Manjunath who runs an organic farming project. And today, even in my slide, I have given you enough data on a 10-year basis, okay, where the biochar application has given more yields. Okay, we have even case studies available on the internet. You can download them. Take many leads even from my own slide presentation. So it is a proven concept, and definitely this is not a theoretical concept to give a lecture based upon these facts and figures. Thank you. It is already available. Data is there. I can supplement it when we write an article or whatever. It is already available in my slides as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, sir. So, yeah, I don't find any more questions. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for a very detailed presentation, answering all the questions in depth. So we'll end this meeting now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I leave the meeting.
Sure, sir.
Best wishes.
Thank you, sir.